Welcome to our coverage of the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics as we've got 6 gold medals on the line, 6 event titles set to take place here in Columbus, the Cavelli Center, your outstanding host for the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. Last night it was all about the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, you know, they started the competition a little slow, Dean, but they came on at about the halfway point right here on vault doing things like that. 4 career highs on that event. Then Fred Richard, the star freshman, he closes it out for the Wolverines, and they get the team championship.
Let's go with more Fred Richard winning the all-around title.
You know, I talked to his coaches before the competition. They said Fred Richards that hit 6 events is a dangerous Fred Richard, and he was exactly that. He was not going to be denied. He was perfect from start to finish, and he is a freshman, and he is also the Big Ten all-around champ.
And good evening and welcome to Columbus. Dean Linke with our 3-time Olympian, 4-time Big Ten all-arounder from Minnesota, John Roethlisberger. John, last night the story was about Michigan. Today we have 6 gold medals to hand out.
There's going to be some incredible gymnastics, world-class gymnastics on the floor today. The Big Ten Championships, first and foremost, is about the team, but these individuals want to be able to say at the end of their career, I am a Big Ten champion, and they're going to be fighting hard to get those titles. We got some great athletes. One of them that stands out is Ian Skirkey on pommel horse. Ranked number 1 in the country, is the 2021 NCAA champion on this event, but he's never won a Big Ten title on pommel horse. He will be one to watch on that event for sure. His teammate, Ashton and I on the still rings, he is the defending Big Ten champ on this event. This event all about strength, and Ashton's got a lot of it. Watch for him there. Meanwhile, Fred Richard, he qualified for every single event final. He needs a little rest, though. He's only going to do 3. He's going to do pommel horse, parallel bars, and high bar. Certainly has a chance to maybe get a trifecta and get 3 more individual titles. Another Illini, Connor McCool, he is number 1 in the country on floor exercise. This guy can fly high, and the thing that separates him is he can stick the landings. He is a favorite on that event as well. Taylor Christopoulos, second all-around yesterday for Nebraska. And the weird thing is Nebraska's only got 1 individual Big Ten champion in their school history. I talked to Taylor moments ago, and he said, I know he wants one of those titles.
Great job, JR. Let's talk about how today will work as we'll go in Olympic order. 6 events, 10 gymnasts qualify for each event. As we mentioned, for instance, Fred Richard did pull out, so that meant sometimes a number 11 can sneak in. Athletes can qualify for multiple events. Most importantly, it's about scoring. No one better at breaking down scoring than John Roethlisberger.
Well, gymnastics scoring is incredibly complicated, but we try to just break it down as simple as we can. There's 2 parts to a score. There's the execution score that starts at a perfect 10. Deductions are taken out of that for form breaks, falls from the apparatus, things like that. Whatever's left is your total execution score. That is added to the value of the 10 most difficult skills the gymnast does. Each skill is given a value, A through, I believe it goes up to about I these days. They keep getting higher and higher. Those skills are given a value. They add them together. That difficulty portion's added to what's left of the execution, and that is the gymnast's total score. There's a lot more to it than that, but that is really the essence of men's gymnastics scoring.
Fantastic job, and we came on the air taking a look at those gold medals, and to walk out of here tonight with one of those, it's special.
It is, you know, and it's funny because I look back at my collegiate career, and at the time you don't really realize how special it is until you look back, and here's your floor lineup, and it's a special thing to be able to look back and say, hey, I was a Big Ten champ. And it's also hard after that team competition. So much energy and emotion is spent. You got to refuel real quick and get back out on the floor, literally.
Here we go with Kazuki Hayashi, 14 to finish 10th yesterday and qualified. 14 for career high. He finished 4th last year on the floor.
And he really stood out to me in the team competition because of his execution. We just talked about that portion of the score, and especially on this event. Just watch all the little things that he does well. His toe point, his body position on handstands, his even so much as his fingers when he goes into the corner. Look at his hands. Everything is perfectly straight, fingers together. That makes an impression on the judge in the course of a full routine. And he's good at landing.
Senior from Fairfax, Virginia, Robinson Secondary School.
And this is not going to be the most difficult routine being done today. He started at a 15.2 in the qualifications, and that's what he'll start at today unless he adds some difficulty to his routine. So a lower stat value means you have to have a high execution score, and so far this is about as good as he can do. One small step on the dismount, that should only be a 1/10 step. And I'll tell you what, if he started at a 15.2, he should be at a mid-high 14, in my opinion. There's the triple twist. Really pretty darn clean in the air. Lands square. Just takes that 1/10 step.
Now we move over to the pommel horse, Fred Richard. Part of the USA team now. 14.1 is his career high. 13.55 yesterday. What a special talent, Fred Richard.
He really is. He looked great at the Winter Cup recently, and that was a meet to qualify for the national team, which he did. Finished second there. Was essentially perfect in the team competition here, meaning just hit all 6 of those events.
He's got Cameron Bach, who won this in 2021, on the coaching staff, giving a little bit of help before he takes off.
Yeah, and this looks very good so far. A little choppy maybe on a few skills at the beginning, but he's great flare work, flare spindle travel. It looks like he's working a little harder than he usually does to keep things moving here, but no major form breaks at the same time. Oh, and a little break there at the end. He wants to pirouette that dismount. And that was good. It was really good. But I know in Fred's head, he knows he can do it a little better, a little cleaner. And here's another look. What I mean, he just looks like his hips flexed a little bit, a little rough on the dismount there, slow going up. You mentioned Cameron Bach. He's in the background there watching Fred finish that routine. So I don't expect that score to hold up, but it is pommel horse. Easy to fall off that apparatus, and Fred stayed on.
On the rings, Adam Wooten finished 6th last year, 8th yesterday with a 13.9, has a career high of 14.5. He's a 2022 All-American on the rings, and he's a Tennessee boy, right?
He is, down in my neck of the woods. One of his coaches as a junior is here, also trained at Harpeth Gymnastics in the Nashville area. And
John, I can tell you 14.1 for Hayashi.
that's too low. I'm telling you, 1.1 off on that routine. That's too low. Picked up a little swing back and forth in the rings right there. You got to stay perfectly still. Killed it. Look how he killed it. Perfectly still in that handstand. Beautiful full twisting double layout, and he stuck the landing in the team competition, and he sticks it again here. That's worth an extra 10th of bonus for sticking that landing.
Solid.
Well done.
Yeah. I think he'll top his 13.9 from yesterday. We'll see how close he'll get to his career high 14.5. Cameron Nelson, by the way, I talked to him today about his kind of keep it cool celebration, and he said that's just something that he does to control his heart rate a little bit more as he moves to the next one. So nice young man.
He's fantastic gymnast, who capable of doing a triple back on floor. I talked to Rustam Cheripov about that. He said he's not going to do it today, doesn't need to do it, but it's a big piece of gymnastics, and so was that. Nice opening pass.
Nelson's career high is a 14.4. He is 4th in the Big Ten.
Beautiful finish to that.
Fred Richard, by the way, in with a 13.7.
Cameron recently made the national team at the Winter Cup as well. He's going to go to Cairo for a World Cup event in about a month, less than a month now. Big assignment. He will be doing the triple back, I'm told, in Cairo, though. Beautiful 2.5 twist punch front layout. So some hops on the landing, like that hop right there, probably a 3/10 hop. Another triple twist, same dismount we saw from Hayashi. Slight scoot back, 1 or 3/10. That's the deduction you can take on that landing, depending on how big that slide was. That is in the judgment of the judges. Here's another look. About the width of the shoulders is what you want to look at. If that slide was wider than his shoulders, probably 3/10. Less than that, 1/10.
So Wooten, by the way, at 14.025 is getting ready on the horse. Is Taylor Christopoulos. Then he's 10th yesterday with 13.3, has a 13.8 career high.
Nebraska team captain, Big Ten Gymnast of the Year this year. The one pommel work, oh, big break right there. The one pommel work on pommel horse is where you get a ton of bonus from. I believe he added that woo, that skill where he traveled from one end to the other, added that in, trying to get a little more difficulty here for the finals. So not bad routine. You know, the two all-arounders, the top two all-arounders from yesterday, I'll be honest, they look like they're working a little harder today on the pommel horse, maybe a little tired. We talked about that. After that emotional team competition, it's tough to get fired up again.
Donovan Hewitt finished 6th yesterday with a 13.95. He was 3rd last year. So he's 7th in the country. Donovan Hewitt next to go on the rings for the Buckeyes.
And he's one of my favorite guys to watch. Just has this passion and this energy. He hits a routine, you're gonna know it. Capable of doing big things here. Beautiful back up rise to planche position. Lowers to a Maltese. Great body position. I could iron my shirt on that, it's so perfectly flat. Another Maltese from a swing.
They look clean too.
Absolutely, gotta hold those strength skills rather for 2 seconds for no deduction. Nice. Trying to overtake the 14.025 from Wooten. Nice Yamawaki sequence, those double fronts.
Tell you what, JR, Donovan Hewitt's looking good here.
He is. He's supposed to start from the 15.4. And I think, oh, big hop on the end there, but I do think that is going to be enough. Only two gymnasts. We're early in the rotation, but I think that is going to be your early leader. I think that is enough to overtake Wooten. Here's a good look.
Wow.
At the Maltese. He makes it look easy, Dean, but trust me, that I worked a lot of years to learn a Maltese, a lot of years. In fact, about 20, and I never did one once. I have a keen appreciation for that skill.
Our audio man, Ryan Curtis, can do a great Maltese, as Matt Cormier saw his national ranking, 4th, 2nd in the Big Ten. Finished 8th yesterday with a 14.1, at a career high back in 2021 of 14.9.
Nice start. I talked to him before the meet too, and I said, how's the body feeling? A little sore. And I said, give me your top 3 things that hurt. He said, knee, back, shoulder. As quickly as I could ask it, he had the answer. Beautiful 3.5 twist on that pass. So difficult to land. Nice flare sequence. 2.5 twist punch front layout. The layout position was a little bit off. Kind of started off in more of a piked and then opened it up. That will be a deduction. Although he did land it fairly clean. Triple twist to finish. That's what you got to have. I'm telling you, the winner of floor exercise you want to count at home, the winner will stick half of their passes, in my opinion. You can count those up, little hash marks on a paper or whatever, and that right there is a big one to stick the dismount. You get that extra bonus 10.
Andy Jepson, 41 years he's been at Penn State, including 1 year as a gymnast, stayed on as an assistant, 32 years as the head coach, 41 years total. Cooper Giles finished 6th yesterday with a 13.6, has a career high of 14.5. And you see his national ranking 6th and the numbers to beat.
And he doesn't have the highest difficulty value, but his coaches really believe if he hits, he could have the highest execution score, which is also important. Beautiful start, that full turn on one. Oh! And I spoke too soon. He looked like he was absolutely on, swinging incredibly smooth. And then you're not. And that's what pommel horse is in a nutshell. You can be just on, and you just see his right hand right there. Gets it on the side of the pommel, and it just slips a little bit. I tell you what, you swing pommel horse, if your hand, anytime you put your hand down, if it slips even a little, it is so hard to keep that circle moving and keep that composure, and that's what happened right there. But you get an idea of what pommel horse swing is supposed to look like. That straight body line in the hips. You don't want to see any pike in the hips. You want to see some space between the legs and the body and the pommels of the horse. Unfortunate fall. I really would have loved to see what that routine could score if he hits it perfect, but not today.
Now that expression said it all there from Cooper Giles. Chuck Chimelka there to support him. We move back to the rings. Crew Bold. Finished 10th yesterday with 13.75. Set his career high in 2021 with a 13.9.
And he really needs to be perfect in this routine if he wants to threaten the favorites. Has the lowest start value of any of the finalists, which tells you that he was very clean in the qualifications. Legs together planche right there. Maybe just slightly short of the hold. Perfect on that swinging sequence.
John, do you remember how excited Kurt Golder was about bringing Crew Bold to Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, he was a gopher. I'd be excited too.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, though. I don't know that he can do this routine any better. A stuck landing would be the capper. Oh, and he wanted it. It was right there. Looked like he might have lifted the shoulders up just a fraction early. You saw the clap there, kind of like a bummer, almost had it. Oh, the hips just got back a little bit. Nothing you can really do about it. Jordan Gerenstrom, one of the coaches, greeting him off the rings there.
Number to beat, Matt Cormier, 14.45, as Nebraska's Prince Mueller with a career high of 14.2 set yesterday. Senior from Germany.
Yeah, competes for his home country. Actually, we go back there a couple days after. Oh, out of bounds, unfortunately. Going to go back there a couple days after NCAA championships and compete in what's called the Bundesliga. It's kind of a professional gymnastics league in Germany, very popular. Yul Moldauer, actually from the United States, goes and competes in that as well. Said he found out about the collegiate programs through one of his German counterparts, Fabian Hambuchen, who is a world and Olympic champion, one of the greatest German gymnasts in history, and helped him get in contact with a lot of the programs, sent out information, and felt like Nebraska gave him the best offer and was the best fit, and he's been thrilled with his experience as a Cornhusker. Matt Cormier, 14.45 for the early lead here. And with that big hop out of bounds from Mueller, I don't think he's going to match that. But some great gymnastics nonetheless.
coming up for Illinois on the horse will be Maxim Farhadu, who had a 13.35, finished 9th yesterday. He's capable of a big score. At Oklahoma this year, he had a 14.1.
And he had a 15.0 start value in the qualification round, the team competition rather. And talking to the coaches before the meet, he could add as much as 0.6 to his start value, which would get him to a 15.6. It almost feels like he needs to do it if he wants to give the gold medal a run. But look at the extension. Fantastic swing. Hands right next to each other. That matters as well. And it might be right here if he steps over both pommels. Nope. Puts his hands in the center. That was really good, though. I do believe he has set a new standard here in the final. Great look at the hands right into the dismount. The sophomore has got to be happy with that one.
There's Daniel Ribeiro loving being the head coach, replacing Justin Spring. His first season, big hug from Daniel Ribeiro.
And as a horse NCAA champion that Daniel is, he's got to have some pride in the fantastic horse team that he has.
Here's Asher Cohen, a freshman, 13.7. He got in because Fred Richard dropped out. Going to try to make the most of it. Capable of a big score. He had a 13.85 his rookie campaign.
And again, a lower start value, starts at the same number that Crew bowled at a 14.8. So we saw what Crew did on a really clean routine. 13.525, so we'll see what Asher can do. Nice back up rise to inverted cross. Do not see a lot of those. John Robinson, the coach, one of the coaches from Nebraska, told me he's really excited about Asher and feels like he is really a guy that could be a dominant ring man. Really on the rise on this event. Obviously needs to add some difficulty, but you can see what he does is really clean. Full twist in double back, nails the landing. You saw the green flag go up. That means an extra bonus 10th. Head coach Chuck Shamelka likes it.
So we've already seen Adam Wooten on the rings. Now he'll move over to the floor where he is a 6-time team all-around champion from Nashville in his youth days. 14.6 is his career high that was set in 2021. Adam Wooten on the floor for Michigan.
Still a 14.45, the number to beat. Double twist and double back. Does have that big hop backwards. That is definitely a 3/10 hop.
John mentioned that 14.45. That's Penn State's Matt Cormier.
Yeah, starts from a 15.6 on this event. Two and a half twist punch front layout. Almost a compulsory pass for a lot of gymnasts in this competition.
Wooten leads a team that is #1 in the conference. Of course, Michigan, Jacob Moore won it last year and won it in 2019.
There you go. Nice finish. I don't believe that's going to be higher than a 14.45, but very well maybe our second highest score so far.
Travis Wong, as you see, for Nebraska, getting ready to go. Travis Wong finished 7th yesterday. The sophomore out of Miami has a career high of 14.2. A year ago, he finished 5th.
Look at the elevation of his swing. What I mean by that is how high his legs and hips are above the body of the horse. Really the highest of any of the athletes we've seen so far. Although slowing down a little bit there. That was clean. Only has a 15.0 start value though for that routine. Some much bigger start values yet to come, but he went up and he did his gymnastics and did it about as well as he can do it. That's all you can ask.
Good work by Travis Wong. As we await his score, we go to Ian Rawball, the freshman from Switzerland. Had a 13.95 yesterday to finish 6th. He's got a 14.5 career high, 8th in the country, tied with Nebraska's Chris Heiser. Donovan Hewitt still the number to beat.
21-year-old freshman, by the way, competes for the Swiss national team. Penn State's got a 21-year-old freshman and an 18-year-old sophomore in Josh Carnes. Kind of an anomaly. Oh, a little short on that Maltese. You can see him start shaking a little bit. A little short on that cross as well. Got to hold that full 2 seconds. That was excellent, though. Double. Nails the finish. Great finish to that routine. Great swinging sequence at the end. Great landing on the dismount, but not sure the beginning part was clean enough to take the lead.
Halfway point as we're bringing you the 2023 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Individual Championships. We'll be back with more on the Big Ten Network. July 15th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago for the fantastic 10K and 5K races and tailgate party. Scan the QR code or register right now at btnbig10k.com. It's the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Individual Championships as we are rocking and rolling halfway through the floor, the horse, and the rings. We go back to the floor. Taylor Christopoulos, who we've already seen on the horse, 14.65 career high. He tied Fred Richard, who is sitting out the floor, with a 14.5.
And Dean, no offense to the athletes that have gone, because we've seen some good gymnastics, but I think the term I'm looking for is the rubber's about to hit the road, because I feel like I don't know that any of the scores we've seen, maybe Matt Cormier on floor, are going to hold up to the last 5 gymnasts to go on each of these events. We got some big routines coming. A couple of big opening passes, however, some landing deductions.
Yeah, both times the chest was down, right?
You have been covering some gymnastics. You pull the chest is down in the landing. I'm impressed, Dean. I'm going to take this headset off. I'm going to move over and just start watching.
See you later.
You're absolutely right. You put the shoulders down on the landing, and you're going to get a deduction even if you stick the landing, right, Dean?
You know it.
Beautiful pass there. I talked to Chuck Schmelker right before this meet, and he said, yeah, we still got that monkey on our back about trying to win a team title here at the Big Ten Championships. And we talked about individual titles, and they've only got one of those, so hoping to get another one here. And that Taylor Christopoulos floor team, good. Don't know that it's going to be good enough to overtake a 14.45, though, of Cormier.
Up next on the horse, Parker Thaxton, who finished 2nd yesterday with a 13.85, nationally ranked, has a career high of 14.3. You see his national ranking is 7. Parker Thaxton for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
So 15.4 is his start value. Should he do the same routine? Let's see if we can try to put together what the judges might see as far as deductions here. Really clean on one pommel. If you got a deduction there, you're making it up, you're faking it. Really clean so far. Probably a foot break right there, maybe a 10th, maybe 3. Very well done. That's called a woo from one end to the other. No form breaks. His hand's a little skewed, as we like to call him, but I'll tell you what, that is the cleanest horse routine we have seen so far. And if I was judging, and I'm not, if he starts at a 15.4, I have him at a high 14.
Donovan Hewitt, what a great teammate he is.
Love it. Donovan Hewitt still in the lead on the still rings as well right now.
I'll tell you what, though, it's going to be tough to hold off this young man, Javier Alfonso, born in Cuba, 5-time Florida State champion, had a 15.3 a year ago. Then he's 3rd in the rings, the NCAAs a year ago. He's the real deal.
He is All-American on this event, and 14.85 again here would be very much clear in first place. Back uprise invert to back uprise, legs together plunge. Very good on that second hold skill. There's the Maltese. All the best guys in the country and the world will have a Maltese on the rings, if not 2.
Number to beat is 14.175 from Donovan Hewitt.
Alfonso started with a 15.7, which tied for the highest start value in the team competition. Very good routine. Really the biggest deduction, probably that dismount. It's a laid out full twisting double, however, piked it in the air. Little low shoulders, Dean, on the landing, and a hop. A wobble in that handstand too. You can see it right there again. Hiked in the air, little low on the landing, and took that hop. So that could be, gosh, maybe 6 or 7 tenths just on that dismount, but I do expect him to take the lead.
Nathan York finished 3rd yesterday with a 14.45 for a new career high. The freshman from Plainfield, Illinois, Premier West Gymnastics.
Front 2.5 twists right there, small hop, but good. There you go.
John, with Nathan out there, we did want to send our best to Jim Hartung, overcoming throat cancer, one of the all-time greats.
Absolutely not here this weekend. Actually, talked to Chuck about him right before the competition, and it sounds like he just got out of the hospital after some treatment again, and we send our best to him. One of the best collegiate gymnasts, if not the best collegiate gymnast of all time. Jim Hartung, someone I looked up to as a young athlete competing, and of course, Olympic gold medalist. Wishing him the best. Hope to see him back here next year.
York, part of several gymnasts yesterday, setting career highs under the bright lights of the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships.
This is an extremely clean routine so far. Great on the landings. Gotta stick this, and he does. And he even does the fist bump before sliding the heels together. The freshman. Could we have a freshman champ on the floor, Dean? This is gonna be interesting.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, he knew he was going to stick that, didn't he? He was fist pumping even before he was sticking it. Well done.
And that was a beautiful in the air, too. The key about sticking a landing is making sure you get up on the skill, get good air, good technique into the skill so you can open up and stick it.
Your defending champ from a year ago, Chase Klingman.
Trying to repeat as a Big Ten champ is not easy. And I talked to the coaches before this competition, and he may upgrade his difficulty to a 15.9 is what I've been told, from a 15.5. Ian Skirky has a high start value of 16.5, so getting to a 15.9 will get him closer. I will tell you the skill if he does it.
Career high of 14.425 set last year. Had a 13.65 yesterday.
Beautiful. I believe it'll come right here. It's called a sewn. It's right there. Beautiful. Perfectly done. That skill named after Mark Sohn, national champion pommel horseman from where else? Penn State. Oh, and this is a really good routine, but can he get the dismount up to a handstand? He does it. He's going to put pressure on the #1 gymnast in the country, Ian Skirky. That was outstanding. Here it is. Here's the Sohn. Full turn on one hand. He might do that better than Mark Sohn did. I hope Mark's not watching and heard me say that, because that was real good.
That was beautiful. Well done. Chase Klingman bringing it. Won it last year, trying to go back-to-back. Move back over to another Cornhusker, Chris Heiser. Finished 5th yesterday with a 14.05, just shy of his career high of 14.3, the sophomore from Longmeadow, Mass.
Javier Alfonso did not take the lead at a 14, so he's just a little less than 2/10 out of first, Donovan Hewitt. So it was that dismount. We talked about the deductions on that, and that clearly the difference so far between first and where Alfonso ended up. So this is still wide open.
We can tell you that Heiser's teammate York did take the lead on the floor, just like you called, John.
Good Maltese.
I apologize. York is actually still behind Cormier.
Double. Oh, big hop forward at the end there. I do believe Donovan Hewitt's going to be safe in that top spot here for another gymnast. Don't forget, though, the Big Ten, defending Big Ten champ on the rings, Ashton Anaya, still yet to go. So can't breathe too easy yet.
All right, so now the Buckeyes, which is a pretty good team on the floor, will roll out again with Jesse, who had a 13.9 career high, had a 13.8 yesterday, but gets in with Fred Richards sliding out.
And you never know. I've seen it happen before where somebody's not in finals, they get their chance and they just blow up big time and get the gold medal.
Jesse Picali, a freshman from Hawaii.
Ohio State, a young team. Don Sharapov told me before the competition that as many as 40% of their lineup at times has been freshmen, and talked about how important it is that they get experience here at this competition, building towards the future.
Remember again, the number is 14.45 for Matt Cormier. Ward was short of that with a 14.325.
Oh, unfortunate on the end there. If he had a chance, which he could have stuck that landing, I don't think it was going to be enough. A lot of little hops leading up to that, but that is going to be a big deduction at the end.
Coming up next on the horse, Will Hawk. Finished 4th yesterday with a 13.65, had a 13.95 against the Buckeyes last year. Chase Klingman, the new leader here on the horse, trying to go back-to-back.
And Chase had almost 2 points off in execution deductions, which again, I'd like to see the judge's paper on that, because that was a really clean routine. But Will Hawk, also great swing, also capable of doing a more difficult routine. Did a 14.9 in the team competition. I've been told he might move up to a 15.2.
Junior out of Indianapolis North Central High School.
Oh, man, and that's going to do it. I was about to say how clean this routine was up until that point. Unfortunate. And here he looks great, and you can't let a lower body part touch the horse, because it is an instant emergency break. And that is exactly what that was. Went to DeVos Gymnastics as a junior, very well-known gymnastic club in the Indianapolis area. Good finish. So just 2 more yet to go on pommel horse. 2 really good ones, so this is going to be a great finish on that event.
Penn State will feature next on the rings. Matthew Underhill finished 4th yesterday with a new career high of 14.25. And you look at those numbers, if he can throw that number up again, that'll put him in the lead.
And has a good start value, has a 15.5 start value, a fairly high number. But he can't sacrifice the execution in doing a more difficult routine.
Freshman from the state of Wisconsin, Brookfield Academy.
Went to Salto Gymnastic Club. Pretty clean so far. Struggled a little to get that giant up to handstand. I think this routine is good enough so far to take the lead, but as we've seen already in this competition, the dismount has been a difference maker for some of them. Oh, and I hate to say it, I think it's going to be the difference maker again. That is at least 6/10 on that landing alone. So low on the landing and that humongous step, maybe 2. Oh, they're getting to the finish line, but just can't quite cross it.
Number 1 in the country, Connor McCool.
And this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy to beat. And he can stick landings. I talked to him before the meet. He said during the season, stuck about 7 out of 9 of his dismounts. Was very upset in the team competition that he gave away so much on his final landing. But so far, 2 out of 3. Small hop there, but only a 10th. Very cool full twisting butterfly. Do not see a lot of those.
Connor McCool's got a twin, Caroline, that was a club gymnast.
Has the highest start value in the finals. 3.5 twist. He just did a 3.5 twist and he stuck it cold. And here's the triple twist he was not happy with in team. And there's your floor champ. Good luck beating that one. I know we have someone left. We have Josh Carnes yet to go, and I don't want to take away anything from him. He could do it, but that right there. Connor McCool, and there's the 3.5. Daniel Ribeiro tells me about him. He is the consummate leader, a true captain, pushes his teammates, and he also sets the standard on work ethic. If there's a deduction that is in a routine, he will work and work and work to get that one thing out of his routine, and that showed right there. What a performance.
Marcus Shears, 5th in the country from New Boston, Michigan, the senior, career high 14.45. Yesterday finished 3rd with a 13.75. Marcus Shears, Michigan.
And a 15.8 start value. There's the zone again, little form break. 15.8 will put him 1/10 behind the start value of Chase Klingman, your leader. Not quite perfectly smooth here at the beginning, but I love his swing. I love his skill choice. Oh, another form break there. Oh, and a little struggle up there at the end on the handstand. Not going to overtake Chase Klingman, but still some fantastic pommel horse work.
Yeah, you could just see him tire right before the dismount.
Yeah, absolutely. Those legs shook just ever so slightly.
All right, rocking the mustache, Liam Doherty Hurwitz. 14.3 yesterday for a new career high for the senior from Bedford, Mass.
I talked to Chuck Schmelko, the head coach of Nebraska, before the meet, and apparently Nebraska's got a you must shave, a clean shaven policy. And I said, how did Liam get the mustache through the team rules? He goes, I don't know how he got that through. Good Maltese position there.
Connor McCool, by the way, 14.725.
Probably should have been higher, if I'm being honest. A little bit of swing right there. Might be a 10th, but the pro that he is kills the swing on his way to a handstand. Can we see a clean dismount? Pretty good. Sticks the landing, however, did have some pike down there at the end.
How much do they deduct for the arm swing?
Again, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? It could be a 10th. The low shoulders, though, that's probably a 3/10 there at the end. And then he also piked in the air, and it sounds ridiculous, and in some ways it is, but man, he can lose so much on a dismount like that.
With the new leader, number 1 in the country, Connor McCool, Josh Carnes, the last to go on the floor. He knows the number he's got to hit, 14.725. His career high was set yesterday with a 14.4.
Wow, what a start. And if he does the same routine, he starts at a 15.4, which really means he essentially has to be perfect. To get a 14.75 out of a 15.4, the judges are going to find stuff, clearly.
Sophomore out of Erie, PA.
Beautiful finish. He's a great athlete, national team member. I love watching him do gymnastics, and he is young, just 18 years old as a sophomore, and really just starting to mature as a gymnast. Write that name down, Josh Carnes. Keep an eye out for him. Could he be on the Olympic team next year? Outside chance, but really 2028. Watch for him if you're a gymnastics fan.
All right, here we go. Ian Skirky sees the number that Chase Klingman put up there. Ian Skirky, 2021 national champion, had a 15.4 at Air Force last year, had a 15.972 at the Winter Cup. This man, coached by Bob Donahue, can bring it.
Got beat by Klingman at the Big Ten championships last year, and I'll tell you what, he wants this title. Hasn't missed a routine the entire season. Oh, and he does it on the other hand. That's a 360 Stockley after the zone. Not perfect, had some form breaks, but he has by far the biggest start value, a 16.5. Recently made the U.S. national team based on his pommel horse skills. That's hard to do. Here we go, almost done, almost done. Looks like a Big Ten champ to me. My goodness, Ian Skirky. Well done. Does not need to do a handstand here. Different type of dismount. It should be at least a 45-degree angle. Hard to do that dismount without getting some kind of deduction, but I think that was good enough. Ian Skirky came out of the same gym that Steven Nedorosik, the great pommel horseman from Penn State. And Steven asked about going to Illinois. Daniel Ribeiro said he didn't have a spot for him at the time. Wasn't going to miss out on Skirky, however.
Ashton Anaya won the ring title last year. Going to try to do it again this year.
And the door's open for him. High start value. Steps and landings like that. And it just might be in the works. Had a 15.7 start value, the same as Javier Alfonso. But the guy to beat is Donovan Hewitt in that 14.175. Ashton is absolutely capable of that. Connor McCool gets the gold medal on floor from Illinois. It looks like Skirky's going to get it on horse. Could they go 3 for 3 here? And look at that, so hard. Called a Azarian to Maltese, and that right there, the elevator up to the legs together plunge.
His career high was set at Ohio State of a 14.8.
Oh, and he does the Yamawaki sequence into the Maltese, the only guy we've seen do that. Are you kidding me? A cross pull out that late in the routine.
Elevate Gymnastics Academy, coached by Ron Howard.
This is it. The dismount is all that it'll take, and he is the Big Ten champ again, and he gets it. We've seen it bite so many of the athletes in the ring finals, but not the defending champ. Ashton Anaya, you are champion again. What a performance.
Illinois, and some more Illinois on the floor, the horse, and the rings.
I mean, you cannot ask for more. Fairly simple dismount, but we've seen other athletes try harder dismounts, take the risk, and it has not paid off. But Ashton does a fairly simple dismount, full twisting double back, and just darts it into the ground. Right there, he's got to know he's the champ.
Connor McCool on the floor, Ian Skirky on the horse, and we're pretty sure Ashton Anaya on the rings. And you think about that, that would be back-to-back Illinois. Cameron Bach snuck in there, but Alex Diab used to be the Lord of the Rings for the Illini. Illinois has always been really good on the rings. Big hug there. I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of Illinois, you're loving what's going on right now in Columbus.
Absolutely. You know, you talk to the coaches, they finished 4th in the team competition, but David Rivera is very proud of that team. They were very tight. The top 4 teams all super close together, and they hit a super high percentage of their routines. Just had a lower start value than a lot of the other teams they're competing against, certainly Michigan, but a good team competition, and so far, you can't ask for a better event final.
They're taking their time here, setting in the score. What are they looking at here, John?
I don't know. Maybe they're ordering dinner. Your guess is as good as mine. That's the only thing that could be harder to decide than who won this ring final is what you're going to get after the meet for your after-meet meal, because he was the best.
He got it, the senior from Elk Grove, California, back-to-back ring champion for Illinois. That means Illinois has won 3 of the last 4 years, and Illinois sweeps the floor gold, the horse gold, and the rings gold. When we return, we'll have the vault, the parallel bars, and the high bars. Big Ten men's gymnastics individual competition on the Big Ten Network. Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships are brought to you by Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten Conference. Marathon, driven forward. And by Old National Bank, the official bank of the Big Ten. Along the banks of the Olentangy. Great to be at the Covelli Center here in Columbus, Ohio, on the campus of The Ohio State University, where the men from Champaign, the Illini, stealing the show through the first 3 rotations.
They absolutely did, Dean. Came in, Matt Cormier went up early in the lineup and held that lead for a long time until Connor McCool, the great one, we'll call him, came in and just stuck pass after pass, super high difficulty, and got it done.
Take a look at the results on the pommel horse. Once again, you'll see the orange and blue up there, number 1.
Yeah, and this is a great battle, too. Again, Illinois and Penn State. Klingman had that number, but Ian Skirky, I think everybody knew if Ian Skirky hit a clean routine, he was going to get the gold medal. Another Illini rounds out the top 3 there.
Those are the results on the horse. And once again, Ashton Anaya, back-to-back rings titles.
And Donovan Hewitt, again, goes up 2nd and has that top number all the way until the last athlete. And I think Ashton and I left no doubt on who is the best today. But it was exciting. It was about the dismounts today on the rings as much as the strength moves, I feel.
Look at that. You were doing the Illini chant. You know, their corral is right near our broadcast position, and they were responding to you, John.
Well, they walked in first, and I gave them an ILL, and they gave me an INI. You know, you got to give them some love, and I think that was the difference, don't you think?
Absolutely. McCool, Skirky, and Anaya certainly think so as well. 14-8 on the horse for Skirky. We'll stick with the Illini as Michael Fletcher finished 6th yesterday with a 14-6-5. And Michael Fletcher overcame an ACL, overcame shoulder injury, and he really said that this year the biggest difference for him is the mental side of it, and that has really paid off in his performance.
Yeah, they have a new coach, Tim McNeil, on the staff that's worked in sports psychology, and he's worked with the team. And I think the big thing is a lot of teams have sports psychologists, but they've really bought into it and really worked hard at it. And that consistency stems a lot from that mental training. And Fletcher also said it's, you know, the best gymnastics he's done, and he's been around for a while, you know, so late in his career doing some of his best gymnastics. What more could you ask for? I also talked to him before the competition started. He goes, I'm either going to stick the vault or I'm going to land on my tail. He said, you got to go for the stuck landing here in the vault final, so expect him to do just that.
He's from New Hampshire, but kind of told us earlier that he's made Illinois home. He likes the state of Illinois.
It's cold up there in New Hampshire, isn't it? It's cold in Illinois, too. Illinois' got 3 more chances on vault to get another title. 3 guys in the finals here. Here we go. Oh, not quite. He was going for it. We're going to see a lot of those vaults here in the final, and I do think the champ on vault is going to stick it because there are so many good ones. You got to be perfect on the landing. So that was a good vault. Don't think it'll hold up throughout this vault final.
We move over to the P-bars. Your reigning champion, Simonuk, will be on display, but right now it'll be his teammate, Javier Alfonso, 13.7 to finish 8th yesterday. Finished 5th last year. His career high was set last year with a 14 flat.
They had matched the highest start value on the rings, but couldn't quite execute high enough to get to title there. Here on parallel bars doesn't have the highest start value, but this is a very intricate event. A lot of high flying skills, intricate support skills, a lot of places to get deductions. So you hit a clean routine, you just never know.
Alfonso, first to go on the bars.
Very nice so far. Hard to really find anything obvious. Beautiful bobsar from one end to the other. We'll see a few of those today in the final as well. Named after Raj Bobsar, Olympian and Ohio State Buckeye. Well done. A great start to this parallel bar final. Very little to deduct in that routine. Small foot movement on the landing on the dismount, but great form, smooth swing below and up top on the bars. Shoulders a little low on that, probably 3 for the shoulders, 1 for the movement of the foot. Coach Shao likes it.
Alfonso, some high fives from his teammates as we move over to the freshman from Switzerland, Ian Rawball. High bar last year won by Paul Judah, who sat out this year. The year before, Shane Wiskus won it. He also won the P-bars, former Minnesota Golden Gopher. It was a Penn State Nittany Lion, Carter, back in 2019 that won it.
This is the high-flying event in men's gymnastics, the high bar. Big-time risk, big release moves, but big reward if you can pull them off. Skills like those first two need to finish right near a handstand, otherwise you could incur pretty significant deductions. That right there, laid out to Kachev. He'll do another one, this time in the straddle position. Well done. A fairly safe routine. I know that's easy for me to say as I'm sitting here at a desk, but that, compared to some of the gymnastics we will see some more difficult routines, but still good difficulty and good execution. A little piked in the air on that, small hop, but like parallel bars, good start to that event final.
So the number to beat is 14-4. That's what Fletcher had, a little bit under his score yesterday, 14-6-5. That'll bring up Matt Cormier, 14-5-5 yesterday, career high of 14-8-5. Finished 5th last year, the junior out of Milton, Mass, who also is 5th in the country on the ball.
We'll have the same start value that we saw from Fletch, as his friends call him. Oh, and was going for the stick. I'm telling you, these guys are going to go for the stuck landings, Dean. As opposed to like a team competition, you may not take as big a risk to stick the landings. You'll take that 1 or 3/10 deduction to make sure you're on your feet. But you can see him look at the ground, open up the chest, and really goes for that stuck landing, and it's just not quite there.
Asher Cohen next to go on P-bars. 13-7-5 yesterday to finish 7th, just under his career high of 13.8.
We saw him on the rings and how good he looked there. Tell you what, I'm excited to watch this gymnast over the next few years because he's got some of those intangibles. Look at his body position. Look at the form. He's strong, clearly. We saw that on rings. Technique, so important in this sport. Once you have a good technique, you can build more and more difficulty into your routines, and he has it. Oh, he gave away a step on the handstand. Come on. Right when I'm talking so many good things about you, giving away a couple tens.
Freshman from Lakewood, Colorado.
He went to 5280 at the Gymnastic Club. Vladimir and Sasha Artemev, his coaches, great coaches. Sasha was a 2008 Olympic bronze medalist for Team USA, so great pedigree and very good routine. There's the bob, sorry. It looks like that one leg just barely got over the rail. Very good looking double pike. I don't think that will be a championship routine, but he should be pleased, and certainly the Cornhusker Nation's got to be excited about having him on their squad.
Cornhusker Nation always excited to see Dante McKinney, 4th yesterday with a 13.75. Had a career high against Oklahoma, 14.25. The senior from Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
And I talked to him before the meet. Beautiful start. He might upgrade by connecting his skills right here. Laid out to Kachev, right into the straddle. That is the upgrade. And I'll tell you, I was astonished. Beautiful jam to a handstand. Astonished by what the judges gave him for an execution score in the team competition. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be astonished again because there are no deductions in this routine. Big dismount, stuck to landing. Good luck to the rest of the finalists on executing a better routine. There will be more difficult routines, but nobody in the Big Ten is going to be cleaner than Dante McKinney. That was just fantastic. I got a little excited about that, if you didn't notice, Dean.
I was waiting for the toothpick, and I think you left one hanging there.
Well, I'm waiting for the right moment, but I might have missed it. You're right.
Thank you.
15.5 is what McKinney had in the team competition. We'll see what he ends up with the start value there, and it should be a big number.
See Michael Fletcher with a 14.4. This is Landon Blix, the freshman from the state of Michigan. 14.55.
Michigan very excited about this freshman as well. Yurchenko vault, and there you go. 2.5 twist, and there is your first stuck landing, and there's your leader. After 3 vaulters. This is beautiful. Round off onto the board, back handspring onto the table. Little leg form coming on and in the air, but there is no deduction on the landing.
Yeah, the Michigan teammates. I gotta believe Kurt Golder is somewhere also on his feet. By the way, Coach Schau said that Kurt Golder said to say hi to you, by the way.
All right, I hope I did okay last night during that team competition for him.
Michael Artlip, 13.7, new career high yesterday, 3rd to go. The number to beat is Michigan's Javier Alfonso of 13.6. Michael Artlip, Penn State.
I do not expect that 13.6 to survive at the top throughout this P-bar final, but guys got a hit. Ooh, a little short on that stutz to handstand, right into the Diamondov. Handles it pretty well. Good finish, small hop at the end there. Gave up a few tenths throughout that routine. Not sure it'll be enough to take the lead. Going to be close.
All right, as we move over to the high bar, Kazuki Hayashi, 14.0 career high at a 13.75 yesterday. We can tell you that Landon Blixt has a new career high, and he is now the leader, just like you said he would be on the vault.
And Dante McKinney is a leader on high bar, 14.475. The judges gave him a 9.375 for his execution. I'll give him credit, by far the highest execution score, but it still should have been higher. Little flat on that turning skill to a handstand called the half top. Oh, fingertip catch on the laid out to Katya. Beautiful laid out to a pike to Kachev. Big release here, Kovacs. Very impressive doing that release move later in the routine when you're a little bit tired. Very good routine. It's not going to be getting the execution score even close to McKinney, but I think that may have had a higher number rather on the difficulty side. Great look at the Kovacs. Keep in mind that Kovacs double back over the bar. That bar is about 8-9 feet off the ground, and it's steel, and it doesn't move when you hit it. That's big risk.
Here's Amari Sewell, 3rd in the nation, 14.55 yesterday. Amari Sewell for Illinois.
The message has been sent by Landon Blixt. If you want to win, you better stick. Almost. Oh, and he had a hop and a step. He should be happy, but that is not going to get him the lead. Little foot split coming onto the vault table as well. Look right here. Take a look right from the board to the vault table. Right there. 1/10, maybe 3 in that one hop. 1/10. The step 1/10. To keep you some perspective, Blixt had almost 5/10 off on his vault. A little over 4/10. And he stuck it perfectly. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a gauge on what those judges are going to do.
Taylor Christopoulos, 8th yesterday with a 13.7. His career high is a 13.95. And I know you mentioned it already, but you talked quite a bit with Taylor pre-meet. What did he have to say?
Well, he did say about this Nebraska team in general. He said, I've never been around a team that has wanted it as much as this team has. And he's been on the team for 3 years now. And going into his senior year, could come back for a 5th COVID year. Not sure if he's going to do it yet, but he's a hungry athlete, especially after making the national team at the recent Winter Cup. It has just fueled his fire for greatness. This is a good routine. Short of a few of those handstands, though. And as much as it didn't look like that much of a deduction, it could be as much as 3/10 and a couple of those, which means 6/10 total. I was about to say a stuck land. Oh, a stuck landing could get you the lead, and he did not. Looked like he had it, and the heels just kept sinking into the mat. Watch this right here. Looks like a stick. See the toes coming up? That means the heels are going down. And that was close. I'm still looking for that big statement routine here on the parallel bar finals. They've been good. I'm still looking for that big one.
Here's Michael Fletcher. We saw him earlier lead off on the vault. He finished 7th yesterday on the high bar with a 13.8. He had a 14.15 back in 2019 against Oklahoma.
I was teasing Coach Ribeiro from Illinois about their high bar lineup. Fletcher didn't even count for the team score, and I said, maybe that's bad coaching. But it's because he does a big, risky routine. And sometimes in a team competition, it's not worth the risk, but those two, my goodness, right on his fingertips. Ribeiro did say he might have just earned his way into the lineup, though, this weekend. Fantastic job.
That was big time.
Illinois, they want all the titles.
Yeah, they're not sharing.
They are not. And that, look at that, his right hand barely got on the bar. You can see the reaction in the background for some of the other gymnasts. They know. Beautiful full twisting double out. Absolutely crushes the landing. Starts from a 15-2, which would just be a 10th higher than Dante McKinney. I don't think it was as clean as McKinney's routine, so I expect McKinney to maintain that lead, but that could be the second highest score.
More Illinois gymnasts. Evan Manavog, the senior from Kansas City, Missouri, Staley High School.
He's capable of winning this too. He can stick this. Oh, and it was so close. Small hop forward. It was actually cleaner in the air, in my opinion, than Landon Blick's vault. But he took that hop, and that hop again. See the form coming on pretty good. Feet together, a little crossed in the air. 1/10 hop, not more. I just think that stuck landing is such a big difference maker. It's psychological in some respects to the judges. And I just feel like you gotta stick on vault if you wanna win. And Landon Blix did just that. So we'll see. I don't think that'll be good enough, but it should be close.
But here's Ian Rawball. He led off on the high bar, 5th to go on the P bars. Had a 14.05 yesterday, just short of his career high of a 14.1.
Bad so far. Oh, until that. Oh, little struggle on that Diamondov. Just looks a little tired, and I don't blame him. An intense couple of days of gymnastics. Finishes it with a beautiful double pike. But some unfortunate errors on the rails.
Bit of fatigue there for freshman from Switzerland.
Give you an idea of how close it is. You know, that Taylor Christopoulos routine, 13.525, less than a 10th behind the leader, Alfonso. And it was that dismount, that landing, the little arm swing and the movement of the feet, where he would be your leader. But Alfonso holding on to that top spot halfway through.
Look at Dante McKinney with a new career high.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah, so here comes Matt Cormier, 13.95 yesterday to finish 6th, career high of 14.05.
with a 15-2 start value. Again, Dante McKinney with a 15-1 start value. You got an idea of how perfect you're going to have to be to catch him if you have a similar start value. Beautiful Kovacs. That's done about as well as you can do it. Laid out to Kovac. Looked like he actually kind of tweaked his feet to the right. He was worried about hitting the high bar. Savvy move. Well done. Beautiful double twisting, double layout. Does take that little slide of the feet. He's sore. He's hobbling off the mat. He said he was sore before the meet, and I don't think he's feeling any better now.
Halfway point for the vault, the P-bars, and the high bar. Looking for 3 more gold medals. So far, it's been a sweep by the Illini. Back with more after this. Tomorrow, women's lacrosse excitement comes your way when 10th-ranked Maryland squares off with number 15 Michigan. Live coverage begins tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. And how about a shout-out for the Michigan men's lacrosse team with a big win over number 2 Maryland today, 16-11 in Maryland. As it certainly is a great time to be a Michigan Wolverine. Casey Cummings next to go on the vault, and it's his teammate Landon Blix with the number to beat, 14.875. Casey Cummings finished 4th yesterday with a 14.7.
And he has a lower start value than the rest of the field, but he hit it perfectly in the team competition. Going to have to be perfect again. Beautiful in the air, and he sticks it. If that's not the best execution score in the competition on vault, look at this. Perfect form on the vault table, perfect form in the air, great body position on the landing. It starts from a 14.9. He should get a 14.9, but he won't get a 14.9. I'm curious to see what the judges take.
Kenny Simonuk won this event last year. Let's take a look. Winning it at Penn State.
And it's his for the taking if he can hit a clean routine. No one's really knocked it out of the park. He's got all the skills. He's got the execution to do it.
The defending champ with a career high of 14.6. Had a 14.45 yesterday. As you see, number 1 in the country ready to go.
Competes for Canada. All-American in 2021 and 2022 on this event. 13.6, the number to beat. Certainly capable of doing that. Beautiful peach half to handstand. So difficult. Back in my era, there was maybe 1 or 2 in the world that could do that skill. We had black and white television back then too, Dean, so it's come a long way. This is your new leader, but he's got to do a clean dismount.
Alongside John Roethlisberger, Dean Linke waiting to see if last year's champ Evgeny Simonuk can do that clean dismount.
There's your new leader. That was fantastic. The hop on the landing is the most obvious deduction in the whole routine. There will be others, but barely noticeable to the amateur eye. Coach Shao is happy, pumping the fists.
Simonuk, we'll wait and see, but could be your new leader. Tell you what, Tiedemann yesterday was a bright light, a 14.15, just shy of his career high of a 14.35.
Yeah, the Nebraska coaching staff love this kid. They say he does more high bar routines in practice than anybody, and is just a machine on this event, as reliable as anybody. Gonna have to be more than reliable though here if he wants to beat his teammate Dante McKinney. He's gonna have to be perfection And that was real good. One more time. Not sure he could do it any better than that.
Zach Tiedemann.
Look at the great form, beautiful. That was right near the handstand. No deduction in my opinion. And the big hop forward. When you're trying to chase down the execution of one Dante McKinney, you've got to stick the landing. But other than that, that was a work of art.
All right, well done. Now, you talk about a big night last night, the highest score, a 15 from David Walmo, the sophomore from Cypress, Texas, with a new career high and the highest score of the night.
Here we go. Oh, and a little short there. You know, I just want to back up for a second because we talked about the vault from Casey Cummings, and he started from a 14.9. We take one more look here, and not to take away from this vault. Little shy on the landing feet form there. The judges gave Casey Cummings a 9.625 out of a 10 for his execution score on that vault. And I know that I'm beating a dead pommel horse here, but that's absolute absurdity. That is not possible. That was a 9.9 or a 10.0 in execution, and the judges need to stop being afraid to throw that number because it's not doing anybody any favors, especially the people watching right now that hear me tell you it's perfect, and that score comes up. It was perfect.
All right, we'll move to Ethan Dick now, the junior from New Zealand. He's fifth yesterday with a 14.05, has a career high of a 14.2.
Gaining a 14.25 right before us, a good score. Certainly these athletes capable of catching it, but the bar is set higher now. Great handstand position. Got to be careful moving those hands even slightly. Great job. Sticks the landing. I believe that was a stuck landing. The 1 foot looked like it moved a little, but I'm going to give it a stick. Maybe a little low with the shoulders on that finish. Let's look at it just from this angle. Ah, it did. It did. And how critical is that? It's a 1/10 movement of the foot, but it takes away the 1/10 in bonus that he would have gotten. So it's a 2/10 swing.
This guy's pretty good.
He's
Number
decent.
1 in the country, Fred Richard. He qualified for all 6, elected to participate in 3, including the high bar. 14.6 yesterday, the highest score. He has put up a higher score in his freshman campaign, his career high, 14.75.
The top 3 guys from the team competition still yet to go, and this is the top guy. Watch this flight right here. Big release. We saw it from Fletcher from Illinois. Gonna do one in the tuck position, right on. Now he's capable of connecting all 3 of these skills. Will he do it? Laid out, straddled, and he does it, piked. Did not do that in the team competition, adds difficulty here. He might have saw McKinney and said, I gotta step it up. Ooh, a little flat on that full top. It's gotta go to a handstand, a little flat on that one too. He's going to by far have the biggest start value of this high bar final. Ooh, takes the hop there.
I thought he had it.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because he blew away the start value from anybody else, probably by a point or more. Obviously, we have some yet to go, so there could be some big ones yet to come that we're not aware of, but he did have some form breaks. Piked on that Tkachev, a little bit of toe point and knees there. And some of those handstand positions, those are the wild card. The judges take 3 on those. It's going to make this very, very tight.
Second in the nation, Taylor Christopoulos, 14.7 yesterday, career high, 14.95. He finished 6th last year.
Gotta stick it. Trying to get the second individual Big Ten title for the Nebraska Cornhusker program. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I think it's the best one so far. If we get another look, what I want to see is the pre-flight form. Because obviously he's stuck, he nailed the landing, just like our leader landed in Blix. But right there, his feet come apart. I think it was a 1/10 deduction. The knees in the air. Now, I didn't notice the knees in real time like I noticed them in slow motion. Now, we know the judges are not just going to take 1/10 for the foot form coming on. They're going to have magic over there and magically come up with some more deductions. But Landon Blix Landon Blix had some pre-flight form. I thought Landon's form on the pre-flight might have had more deductions than Taylor's. We will see. It's going to be razor thin close.
Josh Carnes, second yesterday with a 14.55. Finished second a year ago. His career high is a 14.7. Taylor Christopoulos, by the way, a 14.9.
Oh, and he gets the lead, does the Cornhusker. It was close. Josh Carnes very capable on this event. Has a big start value of a 16. Which would be the highest of these parallel finals so far. Beautiful big air on the Bobsar, the biggest one we've seen so far in this final. Nice double front dismount, little slide back. That might be enough. The big start value is a difference maker. Your leader had a 15.7 at Gainey from Michigan, a 15.7 start value. Carnes has a 16. Did have some execution errors, knees apart on that dismount. That little slide back could be 3. It'll be close.
Adam Wooten, third yesterday with a 14.25, just shy of his career high of 14.3. Last year he finished second to Judah. And I think he was one that got in because somebody dropped out, remember? And he rocked a big score.
Well, he was the third highest high bar score in the qualifications. So capable of a big number. Fred Richard, you saw the standings. He does move into the lead. Oh, and that's the full twisting Kovacs. Called the Coleman. Nice laid out to Tkachev right into the straddle, right into the pike. Saw that same sequence from Fred Richard. Giants. Beautiful, well done. What I'm curious, that is not going to overtake Fred Richard, in my opinion. I'm curious to see if he can pass Dante McKinney as we look at the dismount one more time. For those of you watching, wondering how Fred Richard, with some more clear execution deductions, pulled ahead of Dante McKinney. Now, it was only by about a 1/10.5. It was because he had a 1-point advantage on the difficulty side. 1 point, that is massive.
Cameron Nelson, your defending champ on the vault.
And he does a different vault, handspring front double twist. And if he does that again, the lead could change one more time. Taylor Christopoulos does get the lead over Landon Blix by .025. It was razor thin. I'm right for once, Dean.
You're always right. Career high for Nelson, 14.8. He had a 14.75 yesterday.
Front double full. Oh, and he was going for the stuck landing. Wanted it. Knew he had to have it. Doesn't quite get it, so I do not believe he is going to move ahead of Christopoulos from Nebraska.
David Pochinka, 3rd last year, 6th in the country, 14.45 yesterday. And you see the number to beat. Josh Carnes, 14.35. Does Pochinka have what it takes to pass that?
And notably, Josh Carnes does get the lead by 1/10, and he certainly can do it. Can Pochinka.
Back in 2020, he had a 14.6 against your alma mater, Minnesota.
And a 14.45 to get into these finals shows you that he's more than capable, but nobody's been perfect. That stood short of the handstand. That's a 10th or 3. Big dismount double front. Small hop backwards. I don't know that that will be enough to overtake Josh Carnes, who had a 16.0 start value. Pochinka scheduled to have Josh Carnes rather a 16 start value. Pochinka a 15.6 start value. So 4/10 difference means he's got to be 4/10 cleaner on the execution. I don't think he was.
Graduate student from Plano, Texas. As we move to Caden Spencer, 2nd yesterday, 14.4. You see the leader there, Fred Richard. Spencer, 13.9. 14.4 for a new career high yesterday.
And he was super clean, had a high execution score of a 9.3. Very rare on high bar, but you see why. Great form. Oh, nice Stalter to Kachev. Hard to find a deduction so far on those releases. Spencer's grandfather, an Olympian for Bulgaria. His mom as well, an '88 Olympian.
Freshman from Huntington, West Virginia, Huntington High School.
An important part of this freshman class we mentioned earlier for the Buckeyes. Full twist and double leg. Sticks the landing. Now he starts from a 15.1, and that is the same start value that we saw from Dante McKinney. Done almost equally as clean. I have to admit that was outstanding. The problem is Adam Wooten sitting in 2nd with that 15.6 start value, and Fred Richard with a 16.2. It's going to be very hard pressed to overtake that 14.725.
Last to go on the vault from Nebraska, Zachary Tiedemann. New career high, 14.95. Sophomore from Wilsonville, Oregon.
Oh, and he steps and over the line. And that almost certainly means that Nebraska, if we take another look, Yurchenko style vault again, 2.5 twist, very cleanly done, but just didn't quite handle the landing. That means Nebraska gets their 2nd ever individual title with Taylor Christopoulos at the top.
Fred Richard set a new career high last night of 14.85.
Josh Carnes holding on to that top spot, but with this guy coming up, you got to be a little bit nervous if it'll be enough. Scores on parallel bars today at the top of the standings, certainly lower than they were in the team standing. Oh, that is a skill that I believe is a new skill for Fred. It's called the Makoots. Decided to take a chance and try it, but big error, and that almost certainly means Penn State is going to get a title here. Front finish. Be ready to watch a lot of Fred Richard this next coming year between college season and USA Championships and Olympic trials, and very possibly the Olympic Games in Paris. You can see the trouble he had there, just a little bit off.
Yeah, he's the real deal. No doubt about it. But that man right there celebrating, Josh Carnes, will be your Big Ten champion on the parallel bars and gets a big hug from his head coach, Randy Jepson. Remember, Penn State will host the NCAA championships. Last to go for Michigan, Crew Bold finished 5th yesterday with a 14 as a career high set last year of 14.7. The senior from Delray Beach, Florida, finished 8th last year.
And out of the gate with the Casina, the full twisting double layout over the bar. Guys wanting to tuck the Coleman. Straddle to Tkachev. We've seen some similar constructed routines. There's the pike. Fred Richard did all those in sequential order, but I have to say this routine is clean or cleaner than Fred Richard, but Fred had that big start value. This high bar final has been unbelievable. Big gymnastics and all of them well executed. Can he stick the landing? He does, like a toothpick in a club sandwich, Dean. The last one of the day.
You go. And the Michigan fans, they have been loud last night and tonight. And why not? They won the team title last night and saw Mr. Richard win the all-around. What do you think Bold's going to get here?
I don't think it's going to be enough to overtake Fred Richard. 14.725 is a big score on high bar, but we got a lot of Michigan Wolverines at the top. It could be a Michigan sweep. Wooten's in second right now.
So Michigan looking really good on the high bar. How about Taylor Christopoulos on the vault? As you mentioned, just the second since coming to the Big Ten for the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, and that's surprising. Although I didn't realize, it felt like Nebraska's been in the Big Ten for decades, and it's just been a little over a decade. So hasn't been that long, but they've got a great program, come a long way in those 10 years, and there's going to be a lot more of those titles, trust me, and they're going to get a team title too. Darn near got it this year.
Josh Carnes representing Penn State, as we're still waiting on the score for Crew Bowl. Big smile there from Fred Richard.
Great Instagram follow if you're into that kind of thing. Fred Richard always doing fun videos and Fred challenges, if you will, in the gym. Not sure how he finds time between school and training, but it's pretty entertaining.
Really enjoyed interviewing him yesterday as well. He was awesome.
Great personality. I mean, he has fun. As great as he is, and as focused as you have to be on gymnastics at level, he has fun doing it. He's a little kid out there in a lot of ways, and you love to see it.
Carnes got to work on his handshakes here to make sure he gets them down. When you win a title, right, you got to have your handshakes right.
He's only an 18-year-old sophomore, Dean. Give him a break. He's young.
5th place for Crew Bold, 14.250. Taylor Christopoulos takes it home on the vault. Josh Carnes takes it home on the P-bars. And Fred Richard takes it home on the high bar. Yeah, you go ahead and celebrate Taylor Christopoulos. We'll be back to hand out some hardware right here on the Big Ten Network. Tomorrow, catch Big Ten baseball when the Wolverines take on the Fighting Illini. Live coverage begins tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championship, the individual titles. Taylor Christopoulos taking home the gold medal on the vault with a 14.9. A new career high for Taylor Christopoulos. Landon Blix, the freshman from Michigan. Cameron Nelson, last year's winner, finishing in 3rd. Those are the vault results, 1 through 10. Josh Carnes, 3rd in the country with a 14.35. Getting by Evgeny Simonuk from Michigan, number 1 in the country with a 14.25. He'll take the silver. And David Pachinka, 6th in the country with a 14.225 to finish in 3rd. You see the rest of the results on the P-bars here at the Cavelli Center, Columbus, Ohio. Your outstanding host to the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. There's your number 1 man in the country, the freshman sensation, Fred Richard. 14.725, 2 Wolverines at 1 and 2. Dante McKinney was outstanding for Nebraska with a 14.475. Let's take a look at all 6 of our winners tonight that will bring home that coveted gold medal. They will, of course, have forever. Illinois with the sweep in the first part of the show. Connor McCool crushing it on the floor with a 14.725. Ian Skirky, 14.8 on the horse. Ashton Anaya, back-to-back titles on the rings. Taylor Christopoulos with a career high. Josh Carnes with a 14.35, and then Fred Richard. Remember, he participated in 3 of the events, even though he qualified for all 6. Standing by with some of our superstars is the great John Roethlisberger. Take it away, John.
Thanks, Dean. We're here with the champs, and we're going to start with floor. Connor McCool. Talked to you before the competition. We talked about the stuck landings. Weren't really there in the team competition for you. They were there tonight, though.
They were. Yeah, I've been really grinding in the gym. Like, this is what I've been doing in practice every single day, so I'm really happy it showed up on the floor today because that's what I've been doing.
Well-deserved. Ian, Klingman got you last year. How bad did you want this Big Ten title? You have an NCAA title, but first time in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I did kind of want it. I kind of focused more on just doing my own thing today, though. Not to just not have as much pressure, and yeah, just swung big.
You did exactly that. Now, Ashton, you were sitting there watching that whole final. You're the defending champ. Nobody was quite perfect before you. You had to know you just got to go do your job, and the title was yours.
Yeah, whether they did well or not, I knew. I just had to do my job. Either the title's there or not, and it ended up being there, so happy for that.
Any question when you stuck that landing that you won it?
I was pretty sure, but, you know, you never know until the score comes out.
You never know, those judges. They're a little crazy sometimes. Taylor, the 2nd individual Big Ten title for a Nebraska Cornhusker in the history of the program. It's got to be pretty meaningful. How does it feel?
It feels good. Just super grateful for Chuck to give me a chance to be here, and John. I love Nebraska and my opportunity here. So,
coming back next year for your senior year. You don't know if you're going to be a 5th year yet, but that team title, is it going to be next year?
We hope so, man. We're putting the work in, so we'll see.
Awesome. We'll have fun watching you. Josh, 18-year-old sophomore, the youngster of the crew. You get it done on parallel bars. Walk us through that experience.
You know, today I didn't feel the best, but I still did my job, and yeah, felt pretty good.
I bet it did feel good. Did you know that when you landed that dismount, again, kind of like the ring final, not everybody was perfect before you. Did you feel like you had it?
Not really, to be honest. It didn't feel like my best set, but I ended up winning, so yeah, felt pretty good.
Were you worried about this guy taking it from you? Fred Richard, a great competition. You get the team title, you get the all-around title, you get the high bar title. How good was that one at the end?
Very fun. High bars like that event, I just float, catch, and I mean, I just trusted the whole way, and I was ready for it. So, yeah, it just came out. One more.
What do you think of this Big Ten thing? First year in college, the first year at the Big Ten Championship.
Crazy experience, so fun. All the teams have the best vibes, so it's awesome. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Thank you, guys. Congratulations on your Big Ten titles. Back to you, Dean.
All right, how fitting is it that John Roethlisberger finishes with Fred Richard, who could match John Roethlisberger to win 4 all-around titles because he won one his freshman year. We'll be back with more here of our coverage of Big Ten men's gymnastics on the Big Ten Network. Get all the news and highlights from around the conference on the Big Show. That's coming up next right here on the Big Ten Network after all of those medals and trophies are handed out as part of our coverage on the Big Ten Network. Great to be here in Columbus, Ohio for the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. A couple awards given out. Fred Richard, big surprise, the gymnast of the championships. What a great young man. And how about the job Coach Shao has done in just 2 years?
Hey, you know, he does a great job, and he is a great coach. But I'll tell you what makes you a great coach. Fred Richard makes you a great coach. No, he's done awesome, and Michigan on a roll.
Congratulations, as it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine indeed. So many sports, they are winning all kinds of titles. Let's take a look again. Illinois with the sweep in the first rotation there with Connor McCool, Ian Skirkey, and Ashton Anaya.
That was a pretty special, I think, moment for the Illini, and those three athletes are pretty special as well. Ian Skirkey, a national team member. Connor McCool, he's synonymous with floor exercise. And now you got to say, Ashton Anaya following the tradition of the Illini champs.
Great to be once again with the legend that is John Roethlisberger. And John, now postseason, we know the rankings 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are these 5 Big Ten teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting watching them go forward from the Big Ten championships to the NCAA championships. There's a couple teams out west, Oklahoma, Stanford. They are going to be tough to beat. But I tell you what, these Big Ten teams are seasoned. They've just gone through this competition, which is as intense as you can get. And it'll be a fun one. Be ready if you're out west for these Big Ten teams.
Can Fred challenge for an all-around title as a rookie?
Fred absolutely can challenge for an all-around championship. There's some great athletes, again, around the country, but Fred Richard, good as any of them.
And one more shout-out for Michigan for winning the team title yesterday.
Absolutely. They did it in a way that I didn't really expect. You know, they came out and put themselves behind early. Halfway through, they were in fourth, but they came back strong and left no doubt who the best team was.
Those are your 6 individual champions. Michigan yesterday was your team champion for the 20th time. Fred Richard was your all-around champion. I want to thank our amazing crew all season long on the Big Ten Network, especially our producer, Jim Ressler, and our director, Jeff Clark. Of course, the great John Roethlisberger. For all of them, I'm Dean Linke saying good night from Columbus for our coverage of the Men's Gymnastics Championships on the Big Ten Network.